Recently, I started reading a very famous book with the title The Five Love Languages. And while reading that fascinating, that amazing book, I had an epiphany. I realized that narcissists speak none of these love languages. They do the opposite. They speak five hate languages, which I would like to share with you today. Throughout the entire duration of your relationship with them, they do the opposite of what has been suggested in this great book. And the irony, they force you to speak those five love languages, assuming, or should I say, gaslighting you into believing that you are causing the problems, so you should give more. You should express your love the way it works for them. Without further ado, let's dive in and let's explore what their five hate languages are so that you understand what's going on. I am Danish, a psychologist, trauma therapist, and a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. Welcome to my channel. Hate language number one, verbal abuse, the opposite of what has been described in that amazing book. The author suggests that you should speak words of affirmation to your partner. Just tell them how great they are. Not to feed their narcissistic ego, but they need validation, they need your approval. So that is their love language. That's what they understand, and that's what you need to do. But what does a narcissist do to you? They do the opposite. They verbally harass you, they abuse you, they belittle you, they humiliate you, they put you down, they treat you like an object. They sell your body in their imagination and sometimes say the most horrible things about you as a human being. Put you down in ways one cannot even imagine, and then call it their way of expressing love for you. How do I know this? Well, my father used to verbally harass and abuse my mother all the time, who of course is a covert narcissist, but I cannot deny the fact that she experienced the most horrible form of abuse at the hands of my father. All the time he would call her by derogatory names, put her down, belittle her, and she would absorb it. The crazy thing about all of this is that he would justify it as his love language, that's his own way of expressing love. And he even said that one day he called his elder brother in to discuss the relationship issue because they were thinking about divorcing each other, which never ended up happening. And my father goes on to say, I don't know what's the problem with my son. He always intervenes when I call my wife by these names. What is the problem? I mean, you call your partner by that name out of love? No, you don't. You don't call your wife prostitute. You don't call your wife horrible things. You don't objectify her. You don't sell her body through your words. No, you don't do that. It's unacceptable. But he considered it as his love language. And I was villainized because I always tried to intervene and stop him and said, no, that is not acceptable. Don't do that. That's horrible. This is your partner. This is my mother as well. You are not hurting her only, you are hurting me. Back then I was deeply enmeshed and I felt her pain. So this is how crazy they are. Verbal abuse, verbal harassment, putting you down, criticizing you, diminishing your achievements, turning things around is their love language. Hate language number two, abandonment. The author of that book describes quality time as one of the many forms of a person's love language. If you choose to spend some quality time with your partner, maybe they'll feel satisfied with you because that is their love language. But what does a narcissist do to you? Make you beg for seconds, abandons you, neglects you, gives you silent treatment, stonewalls you, and you have to keep chasing them all the time. And it tortures you, especially if spending quality time is your love language. When you try to approach them, you try to make things happen, they call you clingy, you're too sensitive, you are too demanding. They're not making any efforts, you make efforts, you visit them. The moment you enter their house, their apartment, within minutes they leave. They don't talk, they don't want to talk for more than a few minutes on a phone call. While as the same person used to talk to you for hours in the beginning. Hate language number 3, acts of disservice. The author in that book describes acts of service as a great way to express your love. When they're not doing well, when they need assistance, when they have had a hard day, you, let's say, offer them comfort, you cook for them, you do small things to show that they matter, that they are the most important thing in your life, and you will do anything to ensure they are feeling comfortable. But what does a narcissist do? You tell me. They make sure to cause you discomfort, and that is what makes them evil. They gaslight you, they manipulate you, they make you think you're the crazy one, they instill chronic doubt, they make you think you're causing all the problems in the relationship. All of those combined together would be labeled as a collective act of disservice. Why? Well, they are turning your own intuition against you. They are making you think that you're doing things, saying things that are causing the problem, when that is not the truth. When a person disintegrates your personality, villainizes you, runs a smear campaign against you, says things that never happened to you and about you, that is a big disservice. Why? Well, that breaks your trust in yourself. That changes your self-perception, and you start blaming yourself. You start putting yourself down. You become your own enemy. That is the biggest form of disservice. The other aspect of it would be taking. They take all the time. It's about them. It's about them. Even when they want you to stay in the relationship, even when they cry and beg and say, please don't leave me, it's still about them. They don't want it for themselves. They don't want you to, give them one more chance because they're truly willing to change. No, it's all about their ego. It's about getting supply, and you know that. That is an act of disservice. Hate language number 4, lack of physical intimacy. The author in that book describes physical intimacy as one of the foundations for any relationship. If it is absent, the relationship is dying. But in a narcissistic relationship, what do you experience? In the beginning, it may be quite intense, the best you have ever had, but then what happens later on? You have to beg for it, you crave for it, they withhold affection, they run away from you as if you are some kind of a plague. They don't want to do anything with you. All of a sudden, you are not attractive anymore. You have gained tons of weight, or you are too thin, you smell, and whatnot. Or you get to experience that connection sporadically. They use your body as a toy. It becomes a robotic act. There is no soul in it. They rub their body against you. So that's self-masturbation, isn't it? Yes, you are there, but you don't feel anything at all. And they trauma bond you through that sporadic sexual connection. I call it sexual trauma bond. That is why I call it hate language, not a love language. Hate language number 5, and the last one, gift giving. While as the author in that book describes gift giving as a way to show appreciation, to show your partner how much you love them and how much you care about their needs, a narcissist gifts you, but not the good types of gifts. They gift you a ton of physical and mental health issues, depression, anxiety, gut issues, skin issues, autoimmune disorders, cancers, migraines, whatnot. The list goes on and on and on. People struggle and suffer from the most horrible conditions because of narcissistic abuse, and that is the gift that you get from the narcissist. When it comes to actually buying things for you, there are always strings attached. Yes, some of them might gift you, but it's called gift bombing, not gift giving. When they give you a gift, their intention is to intensify love bombing, to make you think, oh, everything is okay. If this person did not love me, why would they get me an expensive ring? Why would they get me this expensive purse or dress or something else? To cause cognitive dissonance, to remain in your good books, and to create a sense of obligation, to gift you something big and then suppress your desire to have boundaries. to make you feel obligated. It's like, okay, I pay you this, I give you this. Now you have to do what I ask you to do. It's always transactional. There is always an ulterior motive. So there is no actual gift giving. The other possibility is they may give you something, but the meaning of that something would be abusive. For example, a dress they know is not of your size. You need one size larger, one size bigger. It won't fit you properly. And then you try it, and they'll act like, oh, I thought you had lost some weight and it would fit you, but I didn't know you were still fat. Or they'll pass a very sarcastic comment like that. They'll joke about it. They'll put you down like that. It's fine. I'll gift it to my coworker and so on, or my sister, or my mother. That's what they will say, just to compare you with somebody and make you feel like you're not that good looking. You don't deserve that gift. Just to take out the joy. But this is not a direct attack. This is an example of abuse that comes from a covert narcissist. It will leave you thinking, yes, probably I am too fat, I need to lose weight. It's not his or her mistake. They got me the gift. It's my body. It's fine. Okay, I'll bear anything. That is what happens when they gift bomb you, or when they gift you these horrible things. What is also the biggest gift from a narcissist is grief. The grief of loss of time, the grief of loss of connection with your children, with yourself, with your friends and family, the grief of your youth, the grief of lost opportunities, the grief of life you thought you would live with them, the grief of a relationship that never existed, the grief of living a lie. So these are your gifts from the narcissist, my dear narcissistic abuse survivor. And the only way to get over all of this is to just process the pain, let go, and never go back. So those were the 5 hate languages of a narcissist. Let me know what you think and what your reflections are in the comments below. That was it for today's episode. I will talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.